John Hale, we'll start with you.
Olivier, I think you were quoted when you first announced the transfer that if you hadn't been cleared to play this year, you were just going to go ahead and go pro. You wouldn't have stuck around college for another year. So now that you've been through it and there's this extra year of eligibility hanging out there, what is your kind of thought process about that as you head into this final home stretch of the season?
I mean, like you said, right now we're in the final home stretch of the season. So honestly, my mind is on the end of the season and trying to, be the best version of myself every night, every game. And I think, I mean, that's a good question. That's a question that I think about. I don't have the answer yet, but I'm just glad to be here and happy to finish this season.
John Wong, go ahead.
Hi, Olivier. Congratulations on making it to senior day. A lot of times within the realm of collegiate sports, the value of an education kind of gets pushed under the table. How important and how much do you value having an American education?
Thank you. I think that's a great question. I think for me, it's all about how I was raised. My dad come from Africa. He come from Senegal, and basically, I'm trying to do what he did. He left for a better life. I'm not saying that I had bad condition back home, but he left for a better life and went to France and studied, earned his degree, and he is now living a comfortable life. And he built his own legacy, and I think that's the path that I want to choose. And being able to be in this position today it's a blessing for me, and it's a way of remembering what my dad taught me, and is still teaching me to this day. And it's just an honor to be able to do that.
So to say that you had studied at Wake Forest and now the University of Kentucky, you're telling me that that's looked at very favorably when you go home and talk to people in France.
Yeah. I mean, earning a degree, especially in college in the U.S., is something that not a lot of people are doing back home, and I hope. I mean, I know it will be recognized over there, so it's an honor.
Jerry Tipton, we'll come to you.
Yeah, Olivier, I wonder, I'm assuming people in France and elsewhere ask you, what's it been like playing for Kentucky in this season? What do you tell them? Amazing.
I tell them that it's amazing, regardless of wins and losses. That's part of the job. Unfortunately, not at Kentucky, not as much, but it's just, I tell them that it's a blessing. It feels amazing to be able to put on that jersey that 4 years before that I would have never thought that I would be in this position today. I mean, not a lot of kids from France get the chance to play for Kentucky or a school like that, and I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm blessed, honestly, and all I can tell them is that I'm trying to take as much as I can while I'm here, and keep moving forward. But it's an amazing experience.
And I wonder how Kentucky basketball is perceived in France, or is it perceived in France? They have other things on their minds.
It is. I mean, not a lot of people know a lot about college basketball, but they definitely know about Kentucky. They know it's one of the biggest programs in college basketball and one of the best programs in college basketball. So they definitely know about Kentucky.
Larry Vaught, go ahead.
Yeah, Olivier, again, I don't know much about the French basketball culture, but I was just wondering, are you considered like a role model back home for a lot of kids then, and do you have a lot of kids reach out to you or anything?
I know a lot of people follow what I'm doing here. I don't know if I'm a role model or not. I'm trying to behave myself the best I can. I got a little brother, so I'm trying to set the example for him, even though he doesn't really need me right now. He plays for Real Madrid, and I mean that's who I'm trying to not impress but lead, and hopefully it inspires a lot of younger kids to pursue their dreams too.
Thank you.
Kyle John Tucker will come to you next.
Davion mentioned that he was talking to you and Keon, I guess yesterday or the last couple of days, about just how different this team feels now. That even when you had the first 3-game winning streak, it felt like something was still missing, and that thing is not maybe missing anymore. What is the thing you think that feels different, and do you agree with him that it's a different kind of vibe right now?
Yeah, I agree with him. I think the first time was like, wow, we can do this. We got the abilities to do that. And now it's more like, I mean, it's confidence. Like we know our value, we know our worth, and we know what we are capable of. So I think it's just, being able to play like freely, being able to trust your teammates, and knowing that, I mean, we can't compete with any team in this country. So I think that's what Davion was mentioning.
John Hale, we'll circle back to you.
Olivier, is your family going to be able to be here for senior day? Have they been able to come watch you at all?
No. Unfortunately, no.
John Wong, go ahead.
Olivia, so much has been made this year about how many experiences have been lost due to COVID, that you haven't gotten the full experience. And a lot of times we see you and we saw how disappointed you were after the Arkansas game. The fans here, they want to know that you had a good time at the University of Kentucky. Can you give us just an example of some of the really fun moments that you'll always remember and be able to take with you the rest of your life?
Yeah. First of all, the first one that came to my mind is when I heard that I would be eligible, because we forget, but I'm just grateful to be able to play, honestly. Not so long ago, I didn't know if I was going to be able to wear the Kentucky jersey. And that news was, when I heard about it, I told you guys that the reaction from the fan base, from coach, it was incredible. But, honestly, it's a tough year, yes, but I'm grateful to be able to experience that at the University of Kentucky. It's tough. It's a lot of obstacles, but we're learning so much from that. And I think that later in our lives, we will be grateful for that moment, even though at that time right now in the present, it's really hard to get through. But we feel the support. There's a lot of fans out there that support us, and it's incredible.
Any off-the-court experiences, maybe foods you've eaten or places you've visited?
Places I've visited, not so much, but just going with the guys when we have team dinner and stuff like that, or just hanging out in the lodge. I don't have a specific one in mind, but if I take time, I know I'll find a couple of them.
Jerry Tipton, go ahead.
Yeah, Olivier, how do you assess how you've played this season? How do you assess your season?
My season, I think I learned a lot from coach. I think what I realized is that for me, it's being able to play the role that coach wanted me to play and do it to the best, whether it's making my teammates better by setting great screens or finding them open shots, or games I needed to score more, or getting to the free throw line, or being a better defender, or I think I learned a lot about the versatility that I can bring to the team, and that helped my confidence, and that helped me as a player.
And I wonder too, the 3 players, nobody's mentioned Florida, which of course they'll be on the court with you guys tomorrow. What sort of challenge do you think they present, and Colin Castleton in particular?
I think they're playing better. I think they're playing definitely better than earlier in the season, and it's going to be a challenge for us. But also we are also playing better. So I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a start to get us going and keep on that winning streak, and hopefully we'll compete and play hard and fight.
John Hale, finish us off.
Olivier, you had a couple games there where you looked like maybe the team's best 3-point shooter. how exactly do you gauge when to take those shots? You haven't the last couple games nearly as much. What's kind of the direction to you there, and how much of that is part of your game that's still evolving?
For me, it's always been there. It's just like I said, it's the role that the coach wants to give me. Some games I'll need to step out. Some other games I step out, but the defense would adjust, and it would not. I'm not going to take as many threes, but a lot of different stuff are going to be open because of that. Whether it's the roll guy, whether it's the skip, whether it's going to just space the court, and that's what's good about it, and I think that helps definitely spacing the floor and create guys open shots.